Welcome. This is the big E3 episode of the Bits for You podcast. So I'm going to keep this intro short. We have MajicMan187. We have BWA Switch. They're both YouTube game streamers. Their contact info is going to be on the description of this episode. We had one member of the Bits for You podcast, Javier, go to E3. He was there all 3 days. He's going to talk about his experiences there at the end. So just gonna start this show. So let's do this. I'm here with Javier and Chris.
What up, everybody? It's Magic Man back at it again on the Bits for You podcast. Oh yeah.
Welcome back, Chris. So, how's your day been besides these Skype issues?
Oh no, it's been going great so far. The day's just getting started, and just excited about the podcast right now, sir.
That's right.
Oh yeah.
So we're gonna talk about E3 and the experiences or things that we saw at the conferences. Did you see some of the games at the Sony conference?
No, at the Sony conference, yeah. Man, I was watching a lot of the games that was going on, and man, a lot of games. Man, this is gonna be a good year for gaming. I tell you that.
What do you know? Do you have any games that stood out from Sony's conference?
From Sony specifically, no.
They showed off Uncharted. They showed off God of War.
The God of War. I've been a God of War fan forever, man. I got a big old box set of the last 3 games and everything, and a big old statue of the actual character right there.
Kratos.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm super stoked for that. I can't wait for that to come out.
Yeah, I love God of War. Javier, do you enjoy the series of God of War?
I tried the HD remaster and I didn't even finish it. I don't know. I didn't get into it for some reason.
It wasn't your thing?
No.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
But
I don't know. It's just not my thing for some reason. Everybody's really into it and it looks good. I don't know why I didn't get into it.
It has a certain finesse to it that not everybody could like, but for me, the most part, kill.
How about this game that Sony showed off, Days Gone? They showed it off last year at their E3. It seemed cool to me when they showed it off last year. They didn't show a lot. This year we got to see some actual gameplay footage from their demo. I like that a lot of the things that they showed, how you kind of, it seems like they're zombies, but maybe, I don't know what they're going to be called in the game. You run around, the main character rides around on this motorcycle. He goes to this camp and he throws a rock somewhere and the guy hears it. And then as he's screaming because he gets caught in a bear trap, the zombies start going towards him. So I like that interaction.
You're talking about Days Gone.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, that is gonna be an epic. Yeah. There's a new way of doing the zombie franchise, and they're taking it to a new level right there. And I'm super stoked to find out, to actually be able to play that game. That sucker is gonna be bad to the bone right there. And yeah, I'm super excited about that one.
Which studio was it? Is that Naughty Dog?
No, that's not Naughty Dog. That you're probably confusing it with The Last of Us. Which I was a little disappointed that Sony didn't show The Last of Us in this E3. They showed it last year.
Can you believe that? There's a couple of things that's going on with that.
Yeah.
They're trying to push other games out more. More at that conference than what they was talking about. Than what people are wanting to anticipate.
Yeah.
That's coming out. It's very strange what's going.
It was
what went wrong with that.
It was a little odd for me because last year I think Sony's conference lasted like 2 hours, and this year it was like an hour, which I didn't mind the short conference. They just showed a ton of games, but the games that they showed were a lot of the same games from last year, just actual gameplay footage. For example, God of War. I thought the gameplay footage was fascinating. You get to see more of the relationship between Kratos and his son. It takes place, it seems like, in the Norse mythology, during the Vikings, not the Greek mythology as in the previous God of Wars. So I like that little switch in history there for that franchise. But they didn't really show. The only thing that they showed that Sony showed for Naughty Dog was the Uncharted lost chapter,
Yeah,
with Chloe.
their conference was really poorly set up because a quarter of the time the sound wasn't even working.
In the beginning, right? I thought I was the only one.
I thought my phone was messing
Yeah,
up.
I was watching it on YouTube, and I was like, "What the heck is going on?" Like the first 5 minutes or the first 2 trailers they showed for the entire Uncharted one, there was no audio.
Were you guys watching it on Twitch?
Yeah, I think I was watching some of it on Twitch too.
I think
that's where I was at. Yeah, it was Twitch whenever I was watching it.
Yeah, I don't think it's the actual platform that you watch it. I think Sony is the one that had the issue with the audio, and then all the other platforms grabbed the same feed.
Exactly. I started seeing it all around the different stations, news stations.
Because I was on YouTube and I switched to I believe it was Twitch, and it was having the same issues.
Exactly. I did the same exact thing. I was listening on both stations and everything.
I think it's Sony's fault. It wasn't the platform's fault.
Along with that crazy little dance, that musical thing that they did at the beginning, I was like, that was kind of cringe-worthy right there.
The reason I mentioned it because I saw someone tweet about, this stream actually works. I went to it, but I was having problems even connecting to it.
Really?
So supposedly there was a working stream from the beginning, but I don't know how. I never verified it, so I can't say.
Yeah, as of this recording, we haven't verified it either, so I don't know. I mean, for the most part, I saw a lot of people were having the same audio issues. I believe it was just Sony's audio glitch. In the beginning.
Yeah, but between Microsoft and the Sony, how they did their shows, man. I think Microsoft took it on there because the Sony, I mean, it was lackluster. It's like I couldn't believe how minimum it was on what they talked about and what they did and performed and everything to show off their what they're gonna be doing this year. And it's like it's kind of a blah, like what?
So
come on, Sony, I know y'all got something more than this, man.
So in your opinion, Sony?
We're at, man.
Yeah. In your opinion, Sony didn't perform as well as Microsoft.
Exactly, man. I was like trying to be like, woo, yeah, but then it's like it never got there. I was like, oh my god, is this it? It's like, what? Seriously? What? Is it over? What? I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, I was expecting more too.
Really surprised.
Yeah, because they actually, I mentioned in the last podcast, they had a live stream in movie theaters too. So when they announced that, I'm like, oh, I'm guessing they're announcing something huge, but they never did.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. The games, they're gonna be epic. It's like, oh my god, but it's like when it's time to show them off, they could have did a little bit more than what they did.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go through some of the other stuff here. Sony announced the Monster Hunter World. I don't know if you guys are Monster Hunter fans.
Definitely.
Yeah, I'm looking into that. I played like one Monster Hunter before.
Me too.
I think it was for 3DS or something. But at E3, people were like all over that, and had a really awesome display. I think it posted it on Twitter with that huge dragon head.
Yeah, I saw it.
But
speaking of, I think it's a Microsoft only type game, Anthem.
Oh yeah, the BioWare game.
Exclusive, right?
It's not. It's actually coming to, from what I read, it's also going to be released on the PlayStation and PC.
Oh, okay. Well, I was thinking that that's an exclusive, man. I'm super hyped up for that one.
Yeah,
too,
that one looks good. It's BioWare's, what they're titling it on the internet is Destiny Killer. It's supposed to be their version of a Destiny type game. I mean, I liked Destiny when I played it 2 years ago, but I lost interest really quickly. I just couldn't keep up with all the changes in Destiny.
Yeah, no, I understand about that. I was a huge Destiny fan. I even got the PlayStation 4 Destiny bundled where it has the white PlayStation 4,
Yeah,
you know,
Javier, is
and
that the one
man,
you have
it's
too?
just awesome, you know.
Javier, you don't have the PlayStation bundle, do you, for Destiny, or is there
Yeah,
some?
that's what I have.
So you have the white
Yeah, I
PlayStation.
still got the box and everything, but it's like I've been playing it for a long time and everything, but it did lack like a story,
Story.
you
That's what
know.
people complained. Yeah, story.
Yeah, the soul of it was like not quite there, you know. But I mean, it was full of great challenges and stuff to go through, throughout the universe, and all the little holiday specials that they do it was like
Mm-hmm.
trick or treating. I really enjoyed that. That's pretty cool what they did right there. But it was missing something, and I believe that story mode was what it was.
Yeah, that's why I think the BioWare making Anthem is it's stepping it up because BioWare is known for great stories. I mean, they finished in the last generation the Mass Effect trilogy. They worked on the Dragon Age trilogy, and a bunch of other classic games. So they're known for story. So if they're doing this shooter in the Destiny type, I guess you could say genre.
Right,
I'm
right,
I'm
right.
hoping that they knock it out of the park with that Anthem series.
Oh man, yeah, I'm super excited. Yeah, this year is gonna be something awesome, And speaking of awesome, they got the new remake of the Shadow of Colossus.
Yes,
Hello.
that's one thing that I was happy to see at the E3 from Sony. I
Hell
don't know if a lot
yeah,
of people
man.
are happy about that, but
That
I was
blew my
happy.
mind right there. It's like I didn't have the pleasure of playing it when it first came out, but my brother, he's super freaking gamer too, and
Hmm.
man, he just had posters of him. He just, he could talk for days about that game. And I had seen a couple of playthroughs on it. I was like, oh my god, I'm missing out so badly. So, this year, uh, before it comes out, I'm gonna go ahead and get the HD Redux, I believe, and play through that so I can get the feel for it. And man, to get ready for the new game coming out. So I was like, whoa, that's gonna be epic, man. That's gonna be really epic right there. So I can't wait to stream them. It's gonna be super fun, good times.
Javier, did you ever play the Shadow of the Colossus?
No, I gave it to you. I never
Yeah.
borrowed it from you. I don't know. I forgot why.
Uh huh.
But no, definitely this remake. I'm gonna just like Magic. Chris. I'm gonna get it and play it out.
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah,
gonna
they,
be
the
super
the
awesome.
the expected release date for that is early 2018, so it's quite a
I
while.
know, unfortunately, God, I'm gonna be growing gray hairs by the time it comes out, but it's gonna be worth it.
I hope so. So
Heck
you said
yeah.
what did you like about Microsoft's E3?
Oh man, it's just they just had so much going on. It's like visually stunning, and then they're they're doing all their little platforms that they were doing. Like they brought out the Porsche, then they got this guy on the freaking stage screaming about they're going to get they're going and jumping and shooting. And I mean they had a lot more excitement going on. They had like a lot more life going on.
Yeah,
And
that's true.
I think that's what the PlayStation that what Sony lacked to is like a lot of stuff to do. They just pretty much just talked and that was it.
What are some of the
Which
games? Oh, go ahead, Javier. Go ahead, Javier.
was it? Microsoft that showed off Shadows of War, or was that PS4 or Sony?
The Middle Earth Shadow of War,
Yeah,
Lord of the Rings game. That was Microsoft, I believe. No,
yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
think it was
believe.
Microsoft.
or if it wasn't Microsoft, I know Ubisoft showed it in their conference, the gameplay, but I think an actual trailer was Microsoft.
Oh yeah, yeah, man. Speaking of the Xbox, that One X, yeah, yeah, that new console. Oh my God, yeah, it's gonna be a beast. It's like what the heck. But they're also doing the backwards compatibility still, and now PlayStation is trying to get into the backwards compatibility, where you could play the old school PlayStation games,
I I
for the
I
very
think
first generation.
I don't know if they are. I mean, hopefully they are because a lot of people want Sony to jump into the backwards compatibility because Microsoft has done it for the Xbox One. you can play your Xbox 360 games. Now at this E3, they announced you can play the original Xbox games on the Xbox One, while Sony is silent about it. A lot of people are
Yeah, I was
upset
reading
about.
that to it too and everything. So it's like, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
a lot of people are
That would
upset
be
at
pretty
Sony
cool.
because they haven't announced that they're gonna be working on a backwards compatibility. Javier,
You know,
you
Yeah,
were at
I
E3,
don't know.
Javier.
Yeah,
Did you
I
hear
don't know
anything
if it's
about
been
that?
official yet, but yeah, I hope so. That'd be super cool. Why not?
yeah, it's funny. Everybody at first was releasing it with backward capabilities, and then they just took it away, and now they're trying to go back to it. I don't know, kind of weird.
It is weird.
Right?
I
Oh my
just
god! It's like, why not be able to charge again for a game that they bought a long time ago? Like, it'll be good for them. It'll be good for the consumer. It's like, come on.
yeah, I know. At first, they said it was it just too much time to get the software or the emulation software to work correctly. That was Xbox's
Yeah.
excuse, and then they seem to have worked it out. They stuck to it. Sony, they've been asked about that, in previous years, and Sony's like, no, it's not compatible with our current architecture and the PlayStation 4, so we're not gonna worry about the backwards compatibility. I mean, we still have PlayStation 2s selling. They don't sell the PlayStation 2 anymore. I mean, when the PS4 came out 3 or 4 years ago, they were still selling PlayStation 2s, but that ended. Now the PlayStation 3 ended manufacturing 2 months ago, so it would make sense if they do the backwards compatibility. So eventually, people won't be able to buy those old classic systems. They can play their
Right,
games.
right. No, but I hear you about the, their software issues. Yeah, that would make sense there.
What were your favorite games? Some of your favorite games overall, whether it's Sony, Microsoft, EA, Bethesda, Ubisoft, that you are pumped to play.
Oh my God. Do y'all see that? What was it? They got the Horizon Zero New Dawn expansion packs. That's gonna be pretty sick because I played the whole game of Horizon Zero Dawn, and that was a beautifully made game right there. I mean, oh my God, that's so beautiful. I cannot believe what they did with that game. It's just I couldn't take I couldn't put my controller down playing that game. So I was streaming the heck out of that sucker. Oh my God, it is so cool.
So you're looking forward to that expansion, the DLC?
Oh yeah, and then Death Stranding. Yeah, I'm interested to see where that's going at, and
I was disappointed that
Gone, of course.
they didn't show Death Stranding at this E3.
I know, right? I couldn't believe it. I was like, what? There's a lot of lacking stuff that they did not that they were pushing last year, but then they didn't say anything of this year. I'm like, what's going on? I'm like, oh my God. They also did what was it? What was it? Not Mass Effect. What was that other game? Oh my God, I got pictures of it. I can't believe I forgot the name of it. It's super awesome. But yeah, it's just a lot of games that they did not put up there. Well, they got the new Call of Duty, but I don't think did they talk about the Call of Duty this year?
Sony did show Call of Duty at their conference. Yeah, they did. It was a trailer.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I've been a huge Call of Duty fan since they first made the first one. It was like back in 2003, I believe. Oh
Yeah.
my God. Yeah, I've been playing them since I had the original Xbox.
So you played every single one of them?
Oh yeah, I had gotten every single game, and I played every single campaign. And I ain't gonna lie, I was kind of disappointed in the last one, the Infinite Warfare.
Yeah.
Because it turned into like a Star Wars type thing.
Yeah, a lot of people were disappointed in that.
Yeah, I was like, I'm fighting more in space in a spaceship
Yeah.
than I am on the ground with a gun. I'm like, what the hell am I doing here? Oh my!
It felt like
first
it felt like you're
campaign
playing
that I did
Halo.
not finish.
Like you're playing Halo or something.
Yeah, if I wanted to play Halo, I'd play Halo, Or if I wanted to play Star Wars, I'd play Star Wars. I'm trying to play Call of Duty here,
Yeah.
and they getting everything all mixed up. I'm like, oh my God. I couldn't believe it, man. That is literally the last campaign. I did not finish that one. I always finish a campaign, and I did not finish that one. I just gave up on the campaign, and I just went to have some fun with the multiplayer. always have fun with multiplayer, you know. But it's just they just went off too far to the right, you know, to the left end. You know, it's like
Yeah.
you know, it's like come on, man. And so I'm pretty stoked about them getting back down to their roots and everything to do it all over
I haven't
again.
played a
But,
Call of Duty in I don't even remember. I think the last one I played was Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 or the first Black Ops.
oh yeah,
So it's been a
those are
while.
super awesome.
Yeah, so this one has me a little intrigued. I mean, I'll probably play it at first, and if I enjoy it, I'll eventually buy it. But I'm not like overly excited about Call of Duty since the last one I played, which is probably Black Ops 1.
I haven't played it
Right.
since Modern Warfare 2.
Wow, you haven't played it in a long time.
Whoa, hey man, but those are some super epic games. Yeah, man, I love
Yeah.
those.
Hmm.
Actually,
That's
I
when it
still
was
got
so
the
good.
the games. I still got the discs in my drawer.
What anything else that stood out for you at this E3?
Yeah, I was looking at that one. What was it called? Wolfenstein.
Oh yeah, Bethesda's
Oh,
game.
yes.
Wolfenstein 2, I believe. Yeah, oh my God, that's so. It looks so awesome. I can't wait to play that one.
I think.
And the other game that I was thinking about was Metro Exodus.
Oh yes.
Whoa.
Yeah, that was in Microsoft's conference.
Was it, huh? Yeah,
Yeah.
it sure was. Yeah. Oh my God, that was super awesome. I couldn't freaking believe that one. I was like, whoa, what's going on
Yeah,
here?
that's
Yes,
a very
give it to me.
that series. I think they released them on the previous generation. It's been out on PC and PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. They released the digital copies on the PS4 of the first two Metro games. That's a very it's not a popular series. It's a well-made series.
It is
So
a well-made series.
hopefully
exactly,
this
right?
third. I think this is the third chapter in that series. Looks
Uh-huh.
very very good. Looks well done. So.
Yeah, it's gonna make me want to go back to the old ones just to get caught up on everything.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I'm gonna be doing a lot of live streaming this year. Oh my God.
So before let's wrap this up. So I want you to tell us, what are you streaming now, or recently? What have you been streaming?
Well, recently I've been I'm about to finish Prey.
Mm-hmm.
You know they just did that game came out about a month ago. Yeah, so I'm almost finished with that, and I'm between that and I'm just having some fun with Friday the 13th, the game.
Yeah, I saw you streaming that. That was fun. When you were streaming it.
When in doubt, go to Jason. You know.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, kill some counselors, huh?
That looks like a fun game. I'm actually tempted to play it myself.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it's something simple, and you know, just if you have a good team, then it makes it so much fun, so much, you know, just good times with that. You know, you just something to relax. Me personally, I like to be the counselor,
Right.
one of the counselors, because you got that person looking for you. You're like, you got to run and go, you got to try to escape and stuff. You know.
Now, when you're playing as one of the counselors, can you interact or talk to the other counselors?
Oh yeah, definitely. But you'd have to find a walkie-talkie first.
Oh,
You have to find a
okay.
walkie-talkie, and the other person has to find a walkie-talkie.
Oh, okay. So okay. That's an interesting way to go about it. So you can't just flat out voice chat. You have to find a walkie-talkie in order to
Uh-huh.
to start the voice
Yep.
chat.
Exactly.
that's
It's pretty.
that's
I
neat.
didn't. That's pretty new right there. That's pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah, that is an interesting take on it. I think I might check it out.
And you could find a map. You could find a flashlight, I believe.
Mhm.
Yeah, you'll find a map so you could be able to look throughout the whole place. If not, then you know you're kind of blinded a little bit. You know. Oh, but it's super. It's just pretty. It's pretty simple game, but pretty fun. And it's well made and everything. I know it still has guys glitches and everything, but even the glitches are sometimes funny.
Yeah, I think I saw a glitch where somebody was trying to knock a window and the window wasn't breaking, or it actually broke after they walked away. It was a weird glitch.
Yeah, yeah. Speaking of windows, me and his partner one time we ran up to the same window, and we was about to escape, and then all of a sudden we both got stuck in the corner in the same position. So it looked like a four-legged person, you know, four-armed. We're just spinning around trying to loosen each other up, and we're just stuck right there. It's like, oh my God. Then my partner started hitting me. I'm like, oh my God, you're trying to kill me, and I can't move. I'm like, oh Jesus Christ. what's going on? Oh man, it was super funny. It was oh man, I think it was stuck there like 2 minutes right there.
Yeah.
I hope Jason doesn't come over here, but he never came. Another partner went through the window and it loosened us up and everything. So I was like,
Teamwork. Javier, is there anything you want to add?
I think I had more in my impressions of E3 as in the live experience, but since you did ask about earlier, you asked about the biggest impression, even there in person and on the streaming, it was Shadow War to me, and it just looks a lot more expensive. But
oh yeah,
Okay.
that Shadow War, yeah, it looks super sick.
So Magic Man, what's the next game that you're looking forward to stream?
Oh, let me see. I got a list of games to be able to stream, but let me see. I think I'm.
Do you also take advice or suggestions from your fans? Your you ask them what they want to see you stream, and then you go with that as well.
Oh yeah, I'm always up to the suggestions and everything, and just the time and money that you had to get to be able to play it, and
Yeah.
man, I mean, there's so many games out there at the same time, it's like you gotta pick and choose which one you're going to stream and everything. You can't just play one time of this one game that's supposed to have like a 10-hour playthrough. You gotta be consistent with it and everything, and play it through the end. Unless it's like a really horrible game, it's like, oh my god.
Yeah,
I don't want to torture people.
I stopped playing Prey. I just couldn't get into Prey.
Yeah, I had taken a little time off of Prey as well. It started being started going over the same things over and over
Yeah.
again, and that's kind of been one of the issues with that game. But overall, it's still a pretty cool game and everything. I really love it.
Yeah, there's a lot of people
it's
that like it, including yourself. But for myself, I couldn't get past the beginning. I was like, it just felt very repetitive in the beginning.
Yeah.
And that to me, I just lost interest.
Yeah, especially at the beginning. Yeah, I had to break through that field also because I felt that right off the back too. But it started opening up as you got deeper into it. But it got back to that position of being repetitive again. It's like,
Yeah.
I mean, come on. I was digging it, and I still dig it and everything. It's still a great game. I want to finish it to the end and everything, but it did get a little repetitive. But right now, I just did what remains of Edith Finch is that is a pretty game. I mean, it's a real simple game. You ain't really fighting or anything.
Uh-huh.
You're just going through a life story type mode, and just interested to see what happens at the end.
Oh, I gotta
It's
check
pretty
that
cool.
out.
Oh yeah, hell yeah! I just seen somebody else. I started seeing a couple other YouTubers streaming it, doing recordings on it too. I was like, yes, that's pretty. It is a good game, I think you ought to try it out. I bought it off the PlayStation Network store, so
Yeah.
I think it was only like $20.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, it is. It's a simple game, but it is real beautiful. I really loved it. Speaking of simple games, Little Nightmares. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
That
I
was a
think
good
you
game.
mentioned that. I have to check that out. I think somebody else mentioned that to me.
Yeah, and I just read about last night that they're gonna have 3 new episodes, like expansions on it. Like the next month it's gonna be a 3-part story with a new character in it though.
So I'm kind of
Gonna
new.
be playing a new character.
I'm kind of new to was it Little Nightmares? What is this about?
It's this little girl named Well, they didn't say her gender yet, but you could assume by the way that she looks that it's a girl, and
Mhm.
her name's Number 6, and you just trying to escape this like ship that is like full of water and just all these little traps going on and these guys trying to snatch you up and eat you and stuff. And I mean, it's very simple on what you can do with it, but it is very well made, and I'd highly recommend playing that game.
So is it kind of like a platformer then? Because you're trying to escape stuff.
Yeah, it's a side scroller, and yeah, you're just pretty much trying to escape,
Oh, cool. That sounds interesting.
Yeah, it is real interesting. I really liked it. I bought a little statue. I bought the little collector's edition where it has the little little person right there. It looks pretty cool, holding a holding a lighter. Yeah, I'm super excited about the new expansions to it. You know, for the 3 parts series that's coming out. One's coming out next month, and then one's going to be in November, I believe, and then one in January.
The episode idea is becoming more popular. I see. Like when I was at E3, Square Enix, they were showing off this game called Life. Was it Life is Strange? Yeah, Before the Storm.
Oh,
and it's gonna be released in several episodes.
Yeah, that's the sequel to Life is Strange. I think the first one came out like 3 years ago or 2 years ago. I got it on sale at the PlayStation had a sale a couple months ago, and I got it for like under $10. The first Life is Strange.
Wow.
So now the sequel looks very interesting, and like you said, Square Enix tried this episode. I think it was last year with the Hitman franchise. I've always been a big fan of Hitman, and they released. They didn't release a full game. They was only on digital only. They released. I think they released 4 to 5 chapters or episodes. Now you can buy it in a physical store, the entire first season, as they label it, of Hitman.
Nice.
So they're leaning more towards episodic.
Yeah, Life is Strange. I had just recently downloaded it. I think they had it on the PlayStation Network store.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just about to go. Tell you the truth, I think I'm gonna go ahead and stream that one next, just so I get ready for the next one.
Yeah, definitely.
I sat in that one. It was not a demo, but they showed. You went to a room, and one of the people on the team that worked on the game was there, and he was explaining what's new, and he showed. They played it in front of you. Same thing they did with Shadow of War, but and then they showed you some clips of later stuff in the game. I can tell you, there's the whole back rewinding feature that was in the Life is Strange.
Right.
Is not in this one. It's purely like decision-based kind of game. I don't know what the genre is called for that, but
right.
but the story stuff I saw looked pretty cool. I was interested to even play the first one and see how it is. I haven't played the first one.
Exactly right. It drags you in, and it's like, oh man, it makes you want to play the original one and stuff. Like, oh, cool. And I'm super excited about that.
Yeah, and I think one last thing about that is that this takes place in the past. So I forget the main character's name, but she's 16 in Before the Storm.
Yeah, right. I thought that was pretty cool concept too. That they did a prequel, I guess you could say. And also they announced what was that pirate game that they had? Bones and
Skull and Bones.
Yeah, man, that looked pretty fun. That looked pretty cool. You know, I bet a lot of kids out there would love to enjoy playing that game.
Yeah, that's something that has me interested in playing. I like the pirate section in Black Flag, Assassin's Creed 4. So that's the same thing.
Oh yeah.
So Magic Man, before we sign off, do you have any last words, or do you want to tell us the listeners where they can find you on social media, Twitter, Instagram?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter. You can find me on Instagram. I'm big on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook. You can find me on MajicMan187. That's MajicMan187, and yeah, I'll always be streaming on Twitch and YouTube. Come check me out. You know, I'm under the same name, MajicMan187. Back at it again.
Perfect. All right, guys, that's our section here with Magic Man. You know where to find him, and we look forward to having him in future episodes of the Bits for You podcast.
Heck yeah, buddies. Hey, man, keep on rocking.
Thanks. All right, that was the second time we had Chris, a.k.a. MajicMan187, on the podcast. He's always fun to talk to. I mean, even after we stopped the recording, we talked for a bit after. He's just a cool guy. He put so much fun and passion into his streams on YouTube and Twitch. You guys got to check him out on that too. It's the same name, MajicMan187. He goes by on Twitch and YouTube. And up next is BWA Switch, a YouTube streamer. I believe she probably goes by the same YouTube name, BWA Switch. I think she'll mention that in the session here. So that's coming up next. I'm always ready, sir. All right, so this is our next guest, BWA Switch. She is a YouTube and is a YouTube streamer or or both also Twitch.
Just YouTube.
Okay, are you thinking about doing Twitch in the future?
Probably not.
Probably
No
not.
offense to anybody who likes Twitch, but YouTube seems to serve my purpose as well, so I think I'll stick with that.
Yeah, if it works, it works. Might as well.
Yep.
So, Javier, I'll let you take it away here.
Actually, more like our guest BWA Switch. So can you tell us about yourself and why you got into streaming?
Well, I'm actually pretty new to streaming. I just started when the Switch came out, actually, like March 3rd. So I don't know. I don't really know why I wanted to do it. It was one of those things that I'm like, I should do it. I was watching a few people on YouTube already.
Uh-huh.
I guess Abdallah Smash 026. He was like the first one I really started watching. And then I was like, well, I should just give it a try, see what happens. You never know. It's like, I've always had Nintendo as a hobby, so, I mean, why not? Anyway, yeah, I got the Switch on release day, and then I did like an unboxing video, and it just kind of blossomed out from there. I've made a lot of friends already in just like 3.5 months, so I'm really enjoying it so far.
And let me guess, was it Breath of the Wild?
Yes. Yeah. I love that game. Yeah, I got the collector's edition. There was one there when I was at Best Buy, and I was like, I gotta just do it.
No, I kicked myself for that. I was able to pre-order that one, but I went for the Master Edition instead.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
I'm like,
that was sold out.
Yeah, I'm like, I should have gotten the the Master Edition is the one that I got the special. Master is the one with the statue, right?
Yeah, with the sword.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I wish I had been able to get that, but I mean, I love the little case for the Switch. That's the best part of it, and the coin, I think.
Yeah, I've been using that case ever since.
It's beautiful.
So that was your first game that you streamed, and what was it? What did you stream after that?
Well, I actually didn't stream too much of Breath of the Wild, but I played a lot of it, and I watched a lot of it. The first one I really actually streamed is Mario Kart 8.
Mm-hmm.
And before that, I was just doing a little bit of uploads. I only got my capture card like a month ago. Before that, I was using like spectator mode on Mario Kart 8 to just like talk about the races I had just done and things like that. So yeah, Mario Kart 8, I started doing a Let's Play of ARMS, and I should be doing a stream of that Wednesday and Thursday. So we'll see how that goes. What else have I
Wednesday,
done?
Thursday, just to clarify, that'll be June 21st, June 22nd.
Yes, yep, coming up in a few days.
So, so the next game you mentioned was be ARMS, and so you played a little bit so far. So what did you think of ARMS so far?
It's really great so far. I use motion controls, and it's a lot better. I mean, I haven't really done motion controls since the Wii came out, and you guys know how that was.
Right.
It's a lot better. A lot more you can do with it, and it's a lot more accurate, I guess you would say, in how your movements are and how it responds. I really like ARMS so far. What was that?
Oh, I haven't even tried the motion because I have the Pro Controller, and I've been like addicted to using it. But I do feel like I should try, especially you're saying it's actually pretty responsive. Maybe I should try.
Yeah. See, I've heard people say that motion controls are more responsive, and then I've heard people say that Pro Controls are more responsive. So I don't know. I think it's just personal preference, and each character, I think some characters work better with one setup and some with the other. So I guess we'll find out because everybody's still pretty new at playing it, and the tier setups that people have, like the Pro Controller players will say one thing, and the motion control players will say something else.
People always want to belong to a group, whether and now they want to belong to a group of a motion
there
controller
are two kinds of people.
or the Pro Controller people. We're so addicted to being part of a group.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I was gonna go with just button controls at first, and then I just started doing it, and it wasn't doing what I wanted to, and so I switched, and it worked for me. So I just stuck with that ever since. I don't know. I think either way, it's still good. Whatever way you play, it's
What
fine.
characters are you drawn to in Arms?
I love Master Mummy and Mechanica, and Master Mummy is definitely gonna be my main.
Master Mummy. That's the one I like.
Um,
I did the global test, and I was always selecting Master Mummy.
oh, really? Awesome.
Yeah.
Team Mummy.
Yep.
So yeah, those two are my favorite. When I was recording episodes yesterday,
Mhm.
I tried Min Min, and I know a lot of people love her, and she looks awesome, but she just wasn't working for me. So I guess that would be one of my lower ranked ones out of personal preference.
Javier loves
Yes.
Min Min.
Min.
Yeah, I mean she's really great, but my playstyle is I guess not the same.
Yeah,
I like being bulky.
yeah, that's funny because I tried like different ones and I kept on going back to Min because I always win with her. So,
Hey, whatever works for you.
yeah, I guess that's my playstyle. But I'm gonna try to branch out and try to get better with other ones too though.
Yeah, I do want to at least be competent with all the characters.
Yeah. So yeah, I can't wait to play that some more. I just came back from my E3 trip, so I haven't really played it. Funny enough, that was at E3. People were in line for it. And I'm like, this comes out in like 2 more days.
Yeah, that's odd. But I mean, it might have been the people wanting to get into the tournament. I don't know if that was separate or not.
Yeah, there was I think that was the same line, but I'm not 100%. I didn't try to join that tournament
Yeah.
because all the lines in E3 were just took forever. So it's kind of like you're kind of stuck with what you picked for the day.
What was the longest?
Oh, really? Ugh.
So since we're talking about Nintendo, so I did play Mario Odyssey. I waited only an hour for that one, but the thing is, they had a huge setup for Mario Odyssey. I heard that one of the employees said they had 60 stations for it.
Ooh.
So it was like the longest line of all E3, but I can tell you that line moved. The other line I made for Nintendo was Splatoon 2. That took longer actually. That was like an hour and a half in line.
And that's the one you did the tournament with.
Well, no, they didn't have an open tournament for that one. It was like invites only.
Oh, okay.
But what they did was they did turf war, and if you were in the winning team, you got a free shirt or a free hat. I picked the shirt, and they give you a pin just for playing. That was the longest line for me, but that's the first one I went to. As soon as E3 opened on Wednesday, not Tuesday, I went to something else. But on Wednesday, as soon as they opened, I went right to Splatoon 2.
Cool.
And-
Now for the Odyssey, did you do the desert mode or the city mode?
I did the city one.
Okay. I haven't seen that one yet. I've seen the desert someone uploaded.
Actually, the guy before me was playing the desert, so that's why I went with the city.
Okay, cool. I'm excited to see that. I hope I'll be able to see it soon.
Yeah, that's just to jump in that. I had a lot of fun with it. I see a lot of potential because they give you 10 minutes, but 10 minutes doesn't feel like enough. So in the city, I just jumped around, looked for some of these moons, kind of from Nintendo 64 Mario, where you kind of do the same thing, went around looking for stars, talk to some of the people. I saw someone do like a quest, so I know there's quests in there too. And in the demo, they didn't have the option to like when you could throw your hat and take over something.
Right.
I didn't see that option, but I could like throw my hat at some like electrical component, and then I could just travel up like somehow with electricity, stuff like that. And you jump on people, you don't do anything bad to them, so that's good.
That is less violent.
I think they get a little annoyed, but nothing else.
And how did the game look visually?
Oh, really good. Actually, funny. One of the first things that caught my eye with the visuals was Mario's hair. I don't know. I don't think I ever noticed his hair being more detailed before. I think it's always been like a solid color, and that's it.
They're getting really detailed with their textures. I'll say that about arms. Like the other day, I made an observation. Like Springman's jersey, like the mesh on it is like really different from Master Mummy's bandages, even though it's like really close in texture. So yeah, I think that's something they're working on.
Yeah, definitely. Like, you can see each strand of his hair. So they definitely are spending time on their textures. And I see a lot of potential in that game overall. I had a lot of fun in it. I can't wait to play it some more. For that one, they gave everybody like the hat, more like a visor with the eyes.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, actually, it was really nice quality too. It wasn't like some cheap old thing. So That was pretty cool. Overall, on E3, you just get a bunch of free stuff. There was no reason to buy anything. And then Splatoon 2. Have you played Splatoon 2 or the first one?
I haven't played the first one. I did do 5 of the global test fires though, so I can't wait to buy it.
So what did you think of it as a game?
Oh, it's so fun. I do the splat roller, so I just like run around and smash people and paint. It's awesome. Like, I like that there's a shooter where you don't have to like kill people. That's really kind of important to me. So I'm glad that Splatoon 2 is coming out.
When is that
For
coming
that
out?
reason. What was that?
When is that coming out?
I'm not sure the exact date. I know it's mid-July. Probably like July 20th, somewhere around there.
Yeah, I know it's around that time too.
Okay.
But yeah, I played the first one, and it's that salmon run. I'm kind of excited for it. I read some comments. When I played. It wasn't that. E3 was just a turf war, but they're saying it's pretty hard. So it looks like a nice, challenging co-op game, a co-op mode. And actually in the turf war when I was there, I played with the roller. I loved the roller in the first one, so I kind of stick to it.
Yes, it's a nice support role.
Yeah, you get lots of coverage on the ground, and then it's just someone comes at you, just get close range, and bam, you get them pretty much. Of course, from far away, you're not gonna do much. You have to travel in the ink. But all the new specials and stuff, that's all cool. I like the one when you you jump up and then you dive back down, cause this big splash.
Yeah.
So BWA, I wanted to ask, did you see Sony's conference, Microsoft's conference?
No, I actually didn't watch much of that. The only thing I can say about Sony is that I'm super excited about the Insane Trilogy for Crash Bandicoot that's coming out at the end of the month.
Mm-hmm.
But aside from that, I don't play too much of the other 2 consoles.
So you saw Nintendo's conference?
Yes, I did.
And what'd you think of what their conference, I think, was the shortest one. It was like half an hour. But
Yeah,
they showed
25
a
minutes.
ton of
And
games, a ton of
people
stuff.
were upset about that, but they packed so much into it.
Yes, I agree. A lot of people, there was a couple of polls on Twitter asking. I think I did a poll myself, which conference was their favorite, and Nintendo came out on top.
Mm. Were they the only ones, since I didn't see the other 2, were they the only ones that used like the green screens and the different backgrounds?
Well, Sony's was just a presentation on the big screen. That's all they did.
Okay.
They didn't use
Okay.
the big screen, the green backgrounds. Microsoft, I think it was the same thing. It was just the CEO would come out once in a while, make an announcement, and then cut to a trailer or gameplay.
Okay, so yeah, Nintendo's was a little bit different in that regard. Some people didn't like that, but I think it's really cool. It gave you the sense of being outside of just like a presentation hall, like out in the world and being immersive in different environments. So
Yes.
that was really distinctive of them to make that decision.
And I think that's really important too, to stay unique because the other 2 are totally different from when you're aiming at. Because Nintendo's not trying to do these dark, highly visual games. They're more friendly, colorful games, and with some beloved franchises, like Mario and Metroid. Staying unique to me is definitely very important.
So
Yes.
BW, since you saw the conference, what stood out for you?
I would say the things I'm most looking forward to are Mario Odyssey. We've already talked about that. But the Breath of the Wild DLC, there's 2 parts. The first part's coming out at the end of June, and it's Way of the Master, I think.
Yes.
So pretty excited about that, along with the amiibos of the champions. I'm not sure when they come out, but the 4 champions are going to have their own amiibos, so I'm excited to get those.
So you collect amiibos?
A little bit.
See, I have yet to collect my first amiibo. I don't
really?
even have one.
None?
Yeah.
Oh.
People tell me to collect it. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like once you start, it's like, where do you stop? I know people that have like a whole wall of their house covered with them. But
Yeah,
I have like about 10, so.
I have more than 10. My roommate has a ton of them. He has a closet full of them. He's trying to collect everything. He's at the point where he needs to get the ones that are just not being produced anymore, and they're
Yeah.
pretty rare. Like some of the Super
Pretty
Smash
rare
ones.
and pretty expensive, I assume.
Yeah. I still want Villager. Last time I checked, which was a long time ago, it was like $100. I don't know what it is now.
Actually, that was my very first one.
Really?
Back when it was actually came out. 'Cause I like
BWA,
Animal
you should
Crossing.
make Javier an offer right now. Maybe he'll sell it to you.
Yeah,
It's out of the-
Animal Crossing is my favorite franchise of Nintendo.
You know, I want to touch on Animal Crossing. I was disappointed, and a lot of other people I talked to on Twitter, that Animal Crossing was not shown.
Me too. And it was actually my birthday too, so I was kind of expecting.
Oh, happy belated
it
birthday.
A lot. Thank you.
Yeah, that would have been a good birthday present. At least you would have
Yeah.
seen Animal Crossing coming soon, even if it's not this year, but at least next year. Something a little, just like they do with Metroid. Just show a logo, but nothing.
Exactly.
No mention.
And they were working on that mobile app too, so they could have at least done something with that. I would have been fine with just that.
Yeah, or exactly Animal Crossing on mobile. Just like they're focusing on a lot more mobile games for your cell phones. They didn't mention nothing. That to me was a big disappointment. I mean, that's pretty much the only disappointment I can think of right now for Nintendo's conference was lack of Animal Crossing.
I think. Well, was there Hey Pikmin? They might have shown that on the Treehouse. I know they didn't do it on the Spotlight, but
I didn't-
Pikmin and Monster Hunter people were also disappointed. I think.
Yeah. That's two franchises that they could have made some announcement.
Well, you saw what Capcom did. They releasing it for the PS4 and the 360.
Right, and
Oh, okay.
yeah, but Nintendo Switch got no Monster Hunter love. At least not
Yeah.
over here
Yeah,
in the States.
I really thought that Odyssey at the beginning, the first part they showed, I thought that when the dinosaur came out, that was going to be Monster
Me
Hunter
too.
until I saw the Mario hat on
Me
top.
too.
I was like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of their franchises that is this the first time they're outside of Nintendo? I think they might have been on Vita, but I'm not sure.
You mean the Monster Hunter was on? I think it started on PSP and then it went to the PS Vita. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think has Nintendo had a Monster Hunter before, like on the DS or 3DS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
they've
okay.
had
So there you go.
Several.
But
Yeah.
So
That's
I
why-
don't know. I guess they can't decide which console to go with.
Yeah. So, it's from my impressions of the E3, the packet. What I don't know what to call it. The presentation they had. I was really excited about the Metroid stuff. I did watch some clips from Treehouse for the 3DS Metroid game. I think it's Save Samus or The Return of Samus.
Samus Returns, a remake
There
of
you
the Game Boy game.
Yeah, Metroid 2.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for that. I can't wait to get that one. The amiibos looks super sweet. I saw that in display. Actually, I saw all the amiibos for display, and I took some pictures of that and put it on Twitter. That Metroid looks really cool. Like to me,
Yeah.
that's
It's
Yeah.
squishy. That's the first squishy one, I think. Amiibo.
maybe the yarn ones, but not like real squishy. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's and then the Prime that's coming out for the Switch. That'll be cool too.
All we got was a 20-second logo.
Oh, Nintendo's like known for quality. They're not gonna show you anything unless it's ready. Even when they kind of teased Zelda at first, like it wasn't much. They didn't show you much either.
Yeah, there wasn't much to look at for Breath of the Wild when they teased it 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, I think they just showed the landscape. That's all they did.
Yeah. Did they, Javier, since you were at E3, did they touch more on the Pokemon RPG that Nintendo announced at their conference? Or no?
No, I saw nothing of that.
Just what we saw at the conference, that's all they mentioned. Just that they're working on it.
Yeah, well, I
It
was
was
in
the
line.
ultimate tease.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Oh, we're working on an RPG for Pokemon for you, traditional Pokemon RPG lovers, and it's coming out soon. But that's all we got.
No logo.
Nothing.
See, at least we got a logo with Metroid.
Yeah, it wasn't Game Freak, the studio that worked on the very first Pokemons.
No, they do all the Pokemon.
Oh, all of them. Okay, I was confused. I didn't know if they worked on the very first ones. And
Yeah, and well, they did show off that the fighting one, the Pokken.
Oh,
think
yeah.
They had a tournament there where I
forgot.
was. Yeah, the tournament was going on when I was playing something. I think it was Splatoon 2 or something. So I couldn't really see what was happening, but people were yelling and stuff. So definitely some excitement over that.
I remember I did watch some of that on the TV. Stephanie Pat and Matt Pat played each other. That was really awesome.
Who won? Did you see the outcome?
Oh, Matt Pat won by a lot. She won the second match, but I don't want to say anything, but he might have just been being nice and not trying not to make her look bad. I don't know.
Maybe,
I don't know. I don't know.
It could be.
I have no idea. That's just the impression I got. But it was awesome seeing a woman up there regardless.
Yeah, always is.
Yeah, I went with my girlfriend, and
Your fiance.
I joked with her. Yeah, my fiance, and I was
get it
joking
right.
with her that hey, the women's bathroom is gonna be pretty easy for you. It was no lie. I mean, it was a bunch of dudes. I mean, there were women there, but it's just
Mostly
It's
guys.
very uneven ratio.
yeah.
It's getting better though.
No, it
I'll
is.
say that.
I used to go to like anime conventions, an example. It was like 90% dudes.
Yeah, but now
Dorfest.
you go to the cons, any convention, it's almost equal. And sometimes you see more females than guys.
Yeah, like at Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Con, I've been there a few times, and it seems pretty balanced. I think a lot of the women are interested in cosplay, so I think that might be the reason it's more balanced these days.
I also think just some of the shows, at least for like anime, they're kind of they're not as shy anymore about pushing the female lead animes. Like, I remember, give you an example. Vision is Escaflowne. I'm a big fan of that show. When it came over here for the English dub, and they put it on TV, I think it was like WB in the morning.
You're talking about a show that's almost 20 years old now.
Yeah, whatever. It's an example.
That's a 20-year-old show, but yeah.
But yeah, I'm giving you an example between now and then. So back then, when they were advertising the show and everything, they made it seem like the main character was the guy, Van, and they skipped the first episode completely in the dub because he was not in it.
Right, it was just the lady, the girl.
I think it was Hitomi is her first name.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, 'cause she was only because she's the main character, and she was only it was all her in the first episode. So they completely skipped the first episode because he wasn't in it, and all the advertisement made it look like he was the main character.
Yeah, the studio figured that, in America, it's going to be guys watching anime, so let's focus on the guy character, not the female one.
Yeah, and they re-released it, and you could tell it's not the same thing anymore. They're just treating it as is. So there's a big difference between now and then.
I think the biggest mistake Nintendo ever did regarding that was calling it the Game Boy, because parents were like, "Oh, I'm not gonna get that for my daughter. It's a Game Boy."
Yeah, I've heard of that. They're like, "What? A Game Boy? Only boys could play this?"
Yeah. But I think there was actually a Game Girl, if I'm not mistaken, but it was just like one single model, and it came out later. But don't quote me on that.
No,
I dreamed that.
No, I think you're right. I think there was something called a Game Girl, and I think they might have only released it in Japan. I don't think it went out of Japan.
And of course, it was only pink.
Yep. Yeah, I think it was only in Japan.
Okay, that must have been it then.
Actually, I think we hit mostly everything. Actually, this quick question: because we talked about Metroid, have you played any of them?
I haven't really played too much Metroid, honestly. The only real experience I have was when I played on the Wii U. I played a little bit of the original Virtual Console. So
Oh, okay, gotcha.
that's probably going to be one that I'll watch other people play on YouTube, along with Fire Emblem Warriors.
Speaking of the Switch, well, we weren't speaking of it, but actually, on my while I was waiting online or I was in the plane, I was playing. I don't know if you heard about this game, Shantae.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah, I was playing it. That's actually a lot of fun. I think it's kind of hits back at the retro games, but it's modernized, and I had a lot of fun with it. I don't know if have you played it much?
Not much. I did get a copy of one of the games for 3DS as part of a Humble Bundle, but I didn't play too far into it. I liked what I played, but I like that it's a side-scroller type game.
Yep.
But I have too many game syndrome, so that's the only reason I didn't get really far into it.
The 3DS one you probably got was the Pirates. I think
Pirates Curse?
Pirates Curse. Yeah.
Yes, that was it.
I actually bought that. I haven't played it yet because I'm playing the one for the Switch. It just shows you how much I liked it because I bought it for the 3DS because I liked it so much. So I would recommend that game to you and anybody else.
Okay, I'll have to give it another try. I'll probably like it.
Yeah. So I guess to wrap this up, how about you tell us how to watch you, where to watch you, how to connect with you on social media?
Okay, yeah, on YouTube, BWA Switch, and I also do some moderating for a few other YouTubers. Abdallah Smash 026 that I mentioned earlier. So if you go to any of his streams, you'll see me in the chat, along with Nintendo Chit Chat. Eddie Ray does some streams on that channel, and I'm always at his streams as well. On Twitter, I'm BWA_Switch. And those are the main ways to get a hold of me, interact with me. So, yeah.
Yeah, we'll tweet those out as well. And
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Hopefully you enjoyed this, and we look forward to interacting with you and maybe even coming back in the future.
Yes, this was really fun. I enjoyed it. I'm glad you invited me. Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, that wraps up our Nintendo version of the E3 special. Thank you again, BWA Switch, and we're gonna put in the description of this episode how people can follow you as well.
Okay, thanks so much.
Thank you.
You guys have a great day.
You too.
You too.
All right, and once again, thank you to BWA Switch for being a guest on our podcast. You guys have the links on the description of this episode where you can follow her on the sites she mentioned. And for the next part, Javier and I discuss his E3 experience, go into detail about that. So enjoy. All right, Javi. So I want to ask you how, since you were the lucky one to go to E3 out of both of us, what made you decide to go to E3, and how did that go about?
Yeah, so the first time I even thought about going to E3 was back when I finished college and I was working at IBM. I'm like, okay, maybe I'm a software engineer, maybe I could get in because I heard it was lenient.
Mm-hmm.
And it turns out, yeah, you can do it. I mean, the company might not pay for you, but you have some kind of leeway of getting there. I know you had to show them proof of like your paycheck or something, which is fine with me. I could have done that, but I had no one to go with. With a bunch of nerds, they were all very conservative with their money, which is fine. But it's one of those things that I kind of wanted to do. So nothing happened till this year when they said, "Oh, open to the public." So I asked around and see who wanted to go. No one had the funds to go, and just that kind of short notice. So my fiance was willing to go, so that's what I did. I went with her.
I liked how you got it right that time.
And she went with me, and it was a lot of fun. So she's not much of a gamer, but there's some games there she liked. I mean, she's a casual gamer. She's not like.
Did she have a good time?
Yeah, she had a good time.
Even waiting those long ass lines.
Yeah. So that's one of the cons about this was the lines. You could wait over an hour for most of them.
Huh. So So you landed Tuesday morning.
Landed Tuesday morning.
I
went directly to the Los Angeles Convention Center.
Right from the airport.
Yeah. Well, we're from budget, whatever. I rented my car.
Okay.
But went there and parked. Got there, got my badge quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Getting your badge was easy. I had my printout. There was no lines for that.
Mm-hmm.
That was simple. The badge itself was nice and fancy. Had a Nintendo Switch lanyard. I think that's what they're called.
Mm-hmm.
And then some advertising about Yakuza.
Was there a line to get into the convention center?
Oh yeah. So after I got my badge, the next thing was getting in. Fucking line was from inside all the way to outside, and it was wrapping around.
Holy shit!
Screw this shit. I want to go eat. So I went to go eat. When we came back, we had
What time is this that this is happening?
Oh yeah, on Tuesday they didn't open till 12.
Okay.
Noon.
Okay,
so I went to go eat breakfast, and when I came back, it was probably like 11:30. So I'm like, you know what? I know seeing that line, I'm like, I don't want to go in that rush. Plus, there is a panel or a discussion I went to see that was in the E3 Coliseum, which is a brand new thing this year.
Okay.
I think they did it to alleviate some of the lines, which I don't know how successful that was. So I was like, okay, the first panel is about God of War. I skipped it because that started like at 11. The next panel was the Destiny. And the panel after that was with James Gunn and I should have wrote down his name. He's at I think he's like the director of the New York Natural Museum. Is it Tile or Niall Eason or something like that? You know what I'm talking about?
What's his name?
I mean, I can't really. I think it's Tile or Niall. He works in the New York Museum.
Oh, Neil?
Yeah, and he does.
The
He was in
physicist,
Batman
Neil
Superman for like
deGrasse
a second.
Tyson?
Huh?
Neil deGrasse Tyson?
Him. He was there.
Oh, jeez, dude. How can you not pronounce his name?
I'm horrible. I think by this point everybody knows it.
You're
Suck at
horrible with
pronouncing.
pronunciations.
Well, he wasn't like live there. They had him like on the screen.
Oh, okay.
He was supposed to be there, but I guess he couldn't make it for some reason.
Yeah.
Anyways, I went in line. So here's the thing about the E3 Coliseum. They do not kick you out after a panel. So you can just stay there. Technically, you can stay there the whole day.
Mm-hmm.
Although, once you go to the bathroom or you need to go get food or something, you have to go back and line up again. You can't go back to your seat. They did have seats in there that had to be empty out after every single panel. But that was the minority of them. Only like 2 sections, really. And it was 2 floors, but the capacity was at 2,500.
Okay.
So I waited in a line, got in. By the time I got in, they were doing the Destiny 2 panel with the Big Show from WWE. Turns out Big Show is a big Destiny fan. Like when he was talking, you could tell this guy knew what he was talking about.
Oh, I had no idea.
Yeah, he did. He does raids and all this stuff. Big Destiny player. So and he was very entertaining. Actually, it was pretty funny. He kept on asking for codes and stuff like that. Because the guy next to him I felt like it was a director or someone high up in Destiny.
And Bungie?
Yeah, in Bungie.
Okay.
So that was pretty entertaining. So like, okay, cool. And then here comes the main event for me. When it was James Gunn, a representative from I guess Bungie, because she was talking about whoever does Halo now.
That's 343 Industries.
Yeah, her. She was from there. I don't know what she did there. And someone from I think it was Ubisoft. I could be wrong on that. Someone from another big. Oh no, wait. Which studio did Borderlands? 2K.
2K did Borderlands. And Telltale Games did the Guardians of the Galaxy game that came out last month.
Right. So someone from there, and James Gunn, someone from Hollywood. I don't know. I'm being horrible here. I don't remember the guy's name. And then the guy you mentioned earlier. What's his name again?
James Gunn?
No. The scientist.
Neil deGrasse Tyson?
Neil, yeah, him.
You're not even gonna try.
No, I'm gonna just butcher it.
Okay.
So the discussions just went into the name of the panel was world building. So the big discussion really was about how video games as a media could be entertaining, the restrictions of entertainment, and that was Neil was there for. Actually, he was talking about how science, science doesn't hold you back, doesn't restrict you. Mm-hmm. It actually is a liberator. So he gave an example. He talked about Star Wars. So The Force Awakens, when they make the Star Destroyer, they suck the power from the sun and shoot it to destroy like a few planets, right?
Right.
He says, okay, in the movie you see them shoot, and they shoot like they kill like 3 or 4 or 6 planets maybe,
right,
at the same time. He says, with that kind of power, you could have destroyed thousands of planets. So he's like, I don't know why they limit it so much, but it's not like 5 or 6 planets. You could destroy thousands. Sure. So he said that's a great example of science not restricting you, but you restricted yourself.
Right.
And so it was a lot about that kind of discussion on freedom of also from source material. Like that's how Guardians of the Galaxy came to play. James Gunn actually mentioned there was something in part 1 that he's have to deal with now in part 3.
Right. That
it kind of has to break it, but he's not sure if he wants to break it. He said it was related to some like a reference when they were doing the photo, like the mugshots in part 1.
Right.
In the mugshots, supposedly there was some information about the characters.
Okay.
And he says something in part 3 will break one of those. Well, he's considering to break it or not. He's having a turmoil. What
does he mean? Did he elaborate what he meant by break?
He did not want to go into details. He said that specifically. Mm-hmm. He says it's just something that we referenced in part 1, and in part 3 we're going to break it, but I kind of don't want to.
Got it. Okay.
He says if he knows, he tries to stay on canon with movie canon at least.
Right.
Comics, he knows he has to break some of it. He tries to stay somewhat faithful, but there's just some things that just don't translate well, or you need freedom to do something.
Yes.
He, of course, goes into a great discussion about that. He also mentions that the Guardians 3 is draft is already made.
First draft.
Yep.
Okay.
Huge applause for that. And then just some jokes, and they talked more about freedom. They had some questions from the audience. One question I thought was interesting was they're asking about the stereotypes in video games. Like, he didn't say it, but here's an example. How many times in a video game are we going to see the Nazis?
Huh.
You know, why don't we do different cultures or different periods of time? You know, why do we have to go back over and over the same thing?
Mm-hmm.
And basically, James Gunn's answer and everybody's answer was basically, well, if you see that, well, it's up to you guys to create it. You know, and that will then become maybe a new standard or become
A new
part of the
staple.
standard.
Right.
Yeah. And it's up to you guys, which I think that was a very PC answer to me. Because that means to me, okay, the studio's only going to go with what works, who knows that works, because it's a gamble for them. So they're not willing to take those kind of gambles. So they have to go back to Nazis, whatever. Once again, I'm using Nazis as an example. They didn't say Nazis, but this is a great example to me. Anyway, I thought that panel was actually really good. Actually, that's my favorite panel. I posted a picture or two.
Yeah.
On Twitter.
Yeah, you posted a picture of the James Gunn and a picture of the Big Show at the Destiny panel.
Yeah. So after that panel ended, I went right to E3. Figured out that it's fucking packed as hell. So I decided to go to the small.
How many people
first.
were in attendance?
65,000.
65,000. That's including 15,000 that were allowed from the public.
Yeah, traditionally it's about 45,000 or so.
And the other 45,000 are the actual studios, the press, etc.
Yeah, people in the industry, that kind of stuff.
Shit, dude, that's a lot of freaking people in that little convention.
Oh yeah, I was I was just surprised. You could tell they were not ready for this kind of attendance because a lot of things are little. Like the most organized of everybody was actually Nintendo. I'm not being biased here.
I think you are because you love Nintendo.
No, Nintendo had huge lines, but they were ready for them. Sony went a weird route. You had to download the Sony or the PlayStation Experience app,
right?
And then at certain times they will let you
register
RSVP for one of their demos,
right?
As soon as 9 a.m. As soon as 9 a.m. hits, you could register for a bunch of them. They all get filled up immediately. So you had to be one of those lucky few. I actually was able to, and I'll get into that when I did it. I think it was the last day of the con or the trade expo. I did it, but it was definitely a lot of chaos. So the first day, I just went around looking at some of the smaller places.
So day one, you were just taking photos, just walking, getting a feel for things. You weren't really making these long lines on day one.
I did eventually make one example. One of the small places, there was this game called Conqueror's Blade.
Okay.
I think it's like I don't want to say it's Asian, but I think it was some kind of Asian company.
What platform is it being released on?
It's PC. At least we played it on PC.
Okay.
It was just basically like a big war game. You are in charge of a squad, and they're just invading your like fortress or whatever.
Right.
It was okay. I think there's a lot of potential in it, but it was fun. And after that, I tried to go to Bethesda, and no, they were capped for the day. So, and this is like at 2 p.m. or something. There's still another 3 hours left of the con. The line is capped. You can't even make it anymore.
Right.
So the first game, I did try another mobile game. Was whatever. I didn't think too much of it. Then I went to go try out Dragon Ball Fighter Z.
That's the one that they showed at the Microsoft conference. I'm
assuming.
Yeah,
I played it on Xbox. That actually was a lot of fun. It's one of those tag fighting games like Marvel vs. Capcom.
Okay.
As an example. And the controls are easy. My fiance Teresa, she loved it. It was just a fun game to play. Okay, after that, I tried to make the line. This is the same area. This is Namco Bandai.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to make the line for Ni no Kuni 2, but the staff wasn't even sure what to do. They weren't letting people line up, but then people were still lining up. It was really disorganized.
Really?
So I'm like, Yeah, so I'm like, fuck this,
Shit.
we'll leave this one. So then I go to Ubisoft. Their lines were capped. Also, they let you play for like 25 minutes. So you had to wait hours and hours in line. So I'm like, okay, screw this. Went to Capcom. Monster Hunter was there, but it was just a presentation. There was no
demo.
playable. Yeah. And it had some nice displays. I took pictures of it, like Mega Man. And it had Ultron there. He was on his throne or whatever. So I did play Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. The line with that was like maybe 30 minutes. Because this is a fighting game. You fight around and that's it. It's over.
Yeah.
I played against my fiance. And
who won?
that was fun.
Be honest.
Actually, I think she won.
She kicked your ass.
There you go.
Good. I'm glad.
So I think it's less characters than usual unless you unlock more and they didn't show them.
Yeah, I got a lot of feedback from that. I posted some of those photos, and people were responding like, "That's it. What about this character? What about that character?" So my response was, I'm assuming they're waiting on characters for DLC, and I saw a rumor online that somebody asked. I don't know if it was, I forgot where, that somebody at Capcom said that there's DLC in the future, DLC planned, which everything gets DLC nowadays.
Yeah.
That's how it is. In fighting games, you can expect it.
Well, you can pick an Infinity Stone, and that comes into play in the game. Like the Power Stone gives you a powerful attack that launches the enemy backward. I'm just reading my picture I took.
Yeah.
So, that's an example. And then I went to Square Enix, and they just had the Final Fantasy Online game, Life is Strange, the Final Fantasy fighting game, this NT, and this mobile game called, I think it's called Flame vs. Blaze, which actually was kind of fun. I played that. They gave me a free water bottle for playing it. And that was basically the end of my first day. The second day, I did realize they were giving out these free bags in the morning.
Right.
They had like a pixel art on them. I picked it up the second day, which is Mario and Luigi from Super Mario 3. So I picked that up. That was kind of cool. It was pretty useful. I used those bags for putting all my free swag in it, basically.
Let me ask you a question before you go on. So you came back. You were there all 3 days. Now the ticket for E3, is it just one ticket and it gives you access for all days, or can you do just a day of ticket and not decide to go on the other days and you pay less than amount?
No, you're forced to all 3 days.
So it's just one price all 3 days if you want. If you don't, that's up to you.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
They were doing a little thing where the first 1,000 people who got it for 150.
Oh, okay.
Everybody else got it
Discount.
for 250.
Okay.
So the second day, I decided I'm gonna do all Nintendo, and then whatever else I have time for. So I lined up about an hour before, and then we went in the building. Went to Nintendo's booth. It's not even a booth. It's like a huge section. I saw the line for Mario being insane. I thought, okay, I'm not gonna wait all day for this. So I went to Splatoon 2. It was about an hour and a half. In the line, it was funny. We were playing Mario Kart 8 with each other.
Yeah.
A bunch of people had Switches, and we played. Although we were getting a lot of issues, I think because there was a lot of interference because there were so many Switches around.
And I'm sure that you lost horribly.
No, I didn't. So Splatoon 2, me and Teresa played it with two others. It was a teams of 4.
Right.
We had Turf War, and we actually won. So for winning, we got a choice of a free hat or a free shirt. I picked a shirt. Just for playing, you got a pin. So I got the pin as well. And I went to go collect it. There was this part if you see in the pictures, it's called Crazy Cap.
Right.
That's why I picked it up. And then we were also showing off not the Crazy Cap in the middle of the area, the new amiibos. So that was kind of cool. I took pictures of that and showed it. The new Metroid, the Zelda, the new Splatoon, and Bayonetta, Cloud. All these amiibos, they're coming out.
Did they mention, or did you see any information as to when they're being released?
Well, the Metroid ones you can pre-order already. They're coming out in September.
Okay.
The Zelda ones, I was trying to even pre-order them. I didn't see even an option for that. And the Mario ones, they're coming out in October.
Makes sense. That's when the game is being released.
Right. So after Splatoon 2, I kind of did notice when I was in the line that Mario line was actually moving pretty quick. But the problem was they would cap it at a certain point, and then when the line dies down, they let you in.
Okay.
So what happened is it gets kept out. The lady's like, no, you can't line up. Everybody just waits right by the line. And then when she says, okay, you can line up, boom, rush to line up.
Right.
So I was one of those people who just waited for it to uncap, which was only a few minutes. And I got in the line. And that line actually was less wait than Splatoon 2. That was only 1 hour. And played Mario Odyssey. So that was pretty cool.
So, let me ask you something. When you're waiting on these lines or an hour or so, what do? You just take out you're just killing time on the phone or taking pictures? Are you talking to some of the other people that are attending and waiting in line with you, or what do you do exactly?
Yeah, it was a big mixture. Sometimes I talk to people. Sometimes I play with them on the Switch.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes I just play Switch solo. Sometimes I'm on Twitter, stuff like that.
Okay.
You do it if you can to just kill time, or you just look around. Like actually, when we're in the line for Splatoon 2,
there's like a lot to see or a lot to do while you're waiting.
No, it really is just you're stuck in line.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah.
Actually, it's funny that someone from PlayStation came to the line for Splatoon 2.
Uh-huh.
Started giving people PlayStation lanyards.
Really?
Yeah. He offered it to the girl who was working for Nintendo, managing the line.
Uh-huh.
And she's like, "Oh, no thanks."
He's like, he's trying to steal the employees from Nintendo.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Actually, that's something. It was a lady. Actually, most of the people who were managing the lines and stuff were all girls, and they're all like these good-looking girls. So I was like, "Oh, I know what they're doing here."
Well, exactly. They know that a lot of the people that are attending are going to be males.
Yeah, and that's when I made a joke to Teresa about your line will be you're going to have an easy access to the bathroom because
there wouldn't be any issues with her going to a public bathroom, waiting these long lines.
There was females there, but I'm kind of joking around. But there's still, you can tell, more heavy in the males.
Right. It's
still
male dominated. It's still a male dominated industry.
Yeah, but it's changing slowly.
Right.
For Mario, the guy, you have 10 minutes of gameplay. The guy in front of me was playing the desert level. There was only 2 levels to play from: the desert and the city, and you had 10 minutes. So he was playing the desert. I watched him. He actually took control of the bullet bill, so I saw that. I didn't see the option to do it when I was playing the city one. But at least in the desert one, I saw him get into a pipe, and then he turned into Retro Mario, and it became a side scroller at a certain part of the game. Oh. Then you get into the pipe, you get into the other pipe, and so I was able to see the person in front of me play as Bullet Bill, as in he threw the cap and possessed him.
Right.
I didn't have that option, or maybe I didn't see how to do it when I was playing the city level when that's the one I picked. But I saw him get into a pipe and it turned into this Retro Mario. So it became like a 2D side-scrolling Retro Mario game. And then he he exited the other pipe and he went back to being 3D. So that's pretty cool. Which is I'll reference this later again because Sonic Forces, which I play later on, it happens too. That doesn't become Retro Sonic, but it becomes a 2D Sonic game at certain points, even though it's a 3D game. So anyways, I saw that potential in Mario Odyssey. When I played in the city, I explored a lot. Before I even started exploring, there was this little hut you could go into and change outfits. Mm-hmm. So I changed to this Explorer Mario outfit. And the control scheme is simple enough. Yeah. I was using the 2 Joy-Cons. If you swipe or move the right Joy-Con, you throw the hat. The hat could be used to hit somebody, and I guess later on possessed other creatures. So
what would you say how the visuals, the graphics of the Mario Odyssey are? I saw a couple of people's responses on that actually went to E3 as yourself, and like you did, and they said that Mario Odyssey is the most beautiful game that Nintendo Switch has right now. It looks just detailed and just amazing. Would you agree?
Yeah, they spend a lot of time on the textures. Mario has more defined hair. I mentioned that with BWA Switch. And it's visually stunning and definitely the prettiest one now. And for playing the game, I got this visor with the eyes on it.
Yeah.
Kind of like the gimmick that Mario has with the hat and the eyes. That's kind of cool. I did not make the line for ARMS since ARMS is about to come out. So after that, I went to Sega. For Sega, you could play a bunch of games, Yakuza, Sonic Mania, Sonic Forces. I decided just to play Sonic Forces. Obviously, when I was in line, people were talking, highly of Sonic Mania, and you can see some of these games. You can see signs saying nominated for the best game of E3 by IGN or whoever. Sonic Mania was nominated for best of E3 by IGN. So
Would you agree
just
with
give you
that,
an
sir?
yeah.
Okay. I'm glad.
So that comes out in August. Sonic Forces, 3D Mario game. This is the gimmick with this one is you can make your own character and play with it.
Mm-hmm.
And I played it. It didn't let you make a character, but I played as Sonic and I went through the level. And most of it was in 3D, but then there was parts of it that went to 2D scrolling, like the
Side
previous.
scroller.
Yeah, side scroller. So that was kind of cool.
And how was playing that game? Like, were the controls responsive? Was it easy to learn or complicated?
That was easy to learn. I didn't know about the 2D scrolling part. That was kind of cool. It played like kind of like Sonic Adventure a little bit. Except with the 2D scrolling. I can see this being a good Sonic game. Hoping it turns out to be really well. I didn't find any boss or nothing.
When does this game come out?
I think it's in the fall.
Okay. They don't have a target date yet.
I'm sure they do. I just haven't looked at it.
Okay.
I know Sonic Mania is in August.
Okay.
And I went to another one. It was like Focus, the name of the studio. I played The Surge. Honestly, I wasn't that impressed by it. It seemed pretty generic.
The Surge
game. Yeah, you just had like a mechanical arm and you would fight zombies.
Okay.
Sounds awesome, but it was slow moving and repetitive. So to be honest, not something I would recommend.
Did you touch any or interact with any VR games on the second day, or was it the third day?
No, second day. Actually, that's the next thing I was going to, the VR stuff. I played.
Now, before you actually played VR games, what were your thoughts on VR as a whole?
I didn't think too much of VR games. I was not sold on them. Now, it's still a hefty price tag. Let's say the PlayStation. You get the PlayStation VR, that's $400.
It is.
That's so you invest into the system and then the VR.
I was impressed that Sony announced a month ago that they sold 1 million copies of the VR unit at that price, $400, since it actually came out in October. So it's very. I mean, it's a successful product. It's sold 1 million copies. I think the other VR companies for the PC, HTC Vive and Oculus, I think HTC Vive came out first last year, and they announced that they sold 1 million copies, but it took them longer to reach 1 million copies. So that's just, I guess, more people were interested in it. It's cheaper on the PlayStation. The HTC Vive was like $700 versus $400 for the PlayStation VR. So price does play a factor, but I still, like you said, it's still pricey. It's almost as it costs more money to get the VR than it does the PlayStation. The PlayStation now is $300, at least for the regular one.
Yeah, so I would love to play. I'll talk about the VR games I played, but I like them a lot. It's just that price tag. It's like buying a new system, like you kind of mentioned.
Yeah.
So the first VR game I played was one called Preta Vendetta Rising. I didn't get the name of the studio here, but they had a nice little booth going on. They had about maybe 10 stations to play.
Uh-huh.
It was basically like a hack and slash with it kind of reminded me of Diablo kind of thing,
Okay.
but in VR. So in the demo, we fought this boss, and the only thing I really liked it a lot. The only thing I didn't like so much was changing the camera angle, because you can't just turn your head and it completely switches the angle, because you kind of see your character from afar. So it's kind of weird VR.
So it's like almost like a third person VR?
Yeah.
Huh. That is kind of odd.
And you could switch the angle of the camera, but it's slow. It's kind of weird. It kind of like skips a frame. I don't know if this game is still in development or what, but maybe they'll fix that later. It was fun besides that. It's not the best VR game I played, but it was definitely interesting. After that, I played this other one. I think it's more of a university is working on this. I think they mentioned that like a few universities are working on this. I think this is the one. Anyways, they give you the VR set, and then they give you foam swords. And you were basically protecting this crystal while these waves of monsters came at you.
Uh-huh.
I was the wizard, and the other guy was the knight. So even though I had a sword, I didn't have to swing it. I just had to point it. But that was kind of cool. I liked it a lot. He hit me with the sword by accident.
With the foam sword?
Yeah. Which is whatever. I was like, okay. It's just foam. It didn't hurt or anything.
Right. Now,
Um,
was the VR games just all in one part of the expo, the building?
a
was
bunch of them
this-
are together. Yeah. I mean, PlayStation had their own part too.
Okay.
So that basically wraps up my second day. The third day, I made it early again, and I rushed in and went to Nido Kuni 2. This time, I waited maybe like 45 minutes, even though I rushed in the very beginning.
Right.
So I watched people play. They had about 6 stations. I think they were better organized this time. When they capped the line, they actually had a sign that said they capped the line. Because after I was there, shortly after, they already capped it. So I barely made it. People were rushing for it. So I think what they did was they cap it because they only had so much room, and then later on they would let more people in. So when I was playing Ni no Kuni 2, they let you fight this boss. You picked 2 trials. I think I picked the one that did courage. I forget what the other one was called. And it was kind of cool. You could tell the stories about this kid trying to become a king. He has a right, but he has to make a kingdom, and he's looking for, I think it was called Kingsmaker. I forget the name of the object now. But it was basically just a boss fight. But so there's these small creatures in the battlefield. They're friendly and they give you buffs. You just you have to go to their area and then press a button and you get a buff. Each of them give you different buffs. Some of them heal you. Some of them give you attack buffs. Some of them give you a defense buff. And then you had to hold the R2 button and press a button and like triangle, and you would do a special. Your party was of 3 people. You're the main character, and then there's 2 other characters, which I don't know who they are really because I only played the demo. Not much story going on here. And they mentioned something about Guardians. I wasn't sure I meant I would take over Guardians, like I beat them and then I get to use them. I'm not sure. But there was some mention of Guardians. So I liked it a lot. For playing that game, I got a steel book for Ni no Kuni 2. So when it comes out, I can just put it in my steel book. They also gave me a hat, a crown to wear, a foam crown. And so that was pretty neat. I said the only thing about the crown was I needed to take a picture with them, which they would take a picture for you and print it, and then you had to post it on your social media. So I posted it on Twitter. That's what that photo was all about. I did that to get the foam crown. After that, let's see, I'm trying to remember. I went to Let's Does That Again, and I did the Morrowind for the Elder Scrolls Online.
Okay.
I played that, that was pretty neat. There was just a PvP game. Teams of 4s, I think it was. And I never played Elder Scrolls Online. I could tell it's kind of cool. I'm not sure if I would play it, but I'm sure there's plenty of fans for it. It was a fun game. They gave me a free shirt for that. I also went to Shadow of War. Shadow of War is done by Monolith, and the publisher is WB.
Right.
So I was online for Shadow of War. It was just a demonstration.
Okay.
So like they would sit you in this theater, and then someone on the mic would be playing and explaining to you what's happening and stuff like that. Well, one person on the mic explaining what's happening, the other guy's just playing. You can see him with the controller playing. So that line was actually about an hour just to do that. But they gave you a free shirt, and when I was in the line, because this is the Warner Brothers section, they also were doing stuff with Legos, and they gave me a free Lego kit for Fantastic Beast. Yeah, some more free gear. And yeah, and watching them play it got me really hyped up for the game.
It does look like a really good game. I mean, I enjoyed the first one. Didn't finish it, but now I have a reason to finish it before the second one comes out. But it was a very fun game, and watching the conferences on YouTube, where the game looks very good, very polished.
Yeah. So when they were playing it, the whole point of what they were doing was there's this fortress, and there's an overlord who has like his own warships and everything.
Right.
Based on previous gameplay, same game, you could, just like the first one, you could get in some information about some of the different warships. You just have to talk to some of the other orcs, or basically torture them and get the information out of them. And so he had information on some of the warships and the overlord. So what he did is, what happens in the game is you build an army. you could basically, let's say mind control, but you could change their, I guess their sides.
Yeah.
It's kind of like also in the first one, but you never made an army, but you would take one over. I say take it over, but you basically made them turn to your side, you charm them, and they would fight for you. But when they die, and it wears off eventually. But here, no, you actually build an army like this way. So in his army, he had a bunch of orcs, Orakai, and he had some war chiefs going on. Each war chief had their own lines, their own look, their own abilities, and it gets very random. So it's not always the same. It's just like the first one. So each war chief also adds extra to the battle. So like some war chiefs would give you extra range, or it was another war chief he used that gave him poison spiders.
Right.
Now, even though the war chiefs are on your side, they can still kill each other, like betray each other, depending on the relationships with each other. So one of them hates the other one, but they're on your side. In battle, they could potentially kill the other one. So that's what actually happened in the demonstration here. One of the war chiefs backstabs and kills one of the other ones that's on your side. And then, like, if they say one of your war chiefs is, really low on health or something, you heal them, he becomes more loyal to you. So you could change or modify the relationships you have with your own army. And so when you take over the fortress, that's when you kill the overlord. You assign a new overlord for that fortress that's in your army, and they take it over. Now, what can happen is Mordor, their army is still around, so they could go back and try to take over that fortress. So you want to try to put a good war chief that could defend the fortress. And when you take over a fortress, it unlocks a bunch of quests in the area, and depending on the type of war chief you put in there, could alter the type of quest in that area. So in this example, he used like a mystic war chief.
Right.
So the quests were related to that. So I guess it depends on what kind of war. So like I said, it depends on what kind of war chief you put as your overlord, and that, like I said, your quest in that area. So that was just one part of the mechanic of the game. Obviously, there's a lot more to the game, but this is something they really expanded on because you could not do this in the first one. Just seeing this stuff, and I was like, wow, this is amazing. I fell in love with this mechanic and how it was playing out. I loved Shadows of Mordor, or Shadow of War. Sorry, Shadow of Mordor, the first one, and this one, it looks awesome too. My girlfriend or fiance, she thought it was way too complicated, so it's not her type of game. But I really like this one. Obviously, I just went into a lot of details about this one. I was really excited about it. So after that, I basically I went to I went to Square Enix. I kind of jumped around. I tried to do some stuff, but it was E3 was wrapping up. I did go to Square Enix. I sat in the kind of a demonstration once again, like Shadows of War, where for Life is Strange Before the Storm. And in that one, they talked about the previous game, which was released a few years ago. We just talked about this with Magic. So I won't go into much more detail. I'm actually kind of excited for the game. I'm kind of hesitant because of the episode thing. It's going to be released in several episodes.
But that's the thing. That's the trend that Square Enix has tried out with, as we talked with Magic earlier, with the Hitman series. They did that. All the episodes were digital.
Yeah, Square Enix is going that route. You can tell Square Enix is trying to milk their games more. Like, okay, we spent all this money on this development for this game. We're releasing it in parts, or we're going to release multiple parts. They're doing that with Final
Fantasy VII as well, right? The remake.
Right. I'm thinking even Final Fantasy 13. Looks like 3 parts, or like 2 more. Was it 2 or 3 more games after the initial one?
13?
All in the same. Yeah.
The one with lightning?
Yeah, there was like the second one I played it was like something with the time traveling.
The
third one was like Lightning Returns.
Yeah, they had 2 sequels that got worse and worse.
Right, and I actually never finished Lightning Returns. I have it, but as an example of what they've been doing, they've been trying to go heavy on the reusing your engine or whatever you worked on to reuse it. So I just see people play the Final Fantasy Online game. I never actually played the fighting one, Dissidia NT. I saw them fight. You use Cloud and all this stuff. I played it for the Vita before. Was not too impressed by it. I know there's people who are fans of it, but yeah, that's it. E3. Every day I left like 30 minutes to an hour before, because at that point, either the lines are capped or you don't have enough time to do anything else, because lines are going to be pretty long. Like, the shortest line I was in was probably Dragon Ball Z or Ni no Kuni. Everything else was pretty long. In terms of a bigger game, if I went to like a small studio, yeah, that was like a 10-minute wait or something.
So overall, how was the experience?
I liked it a lot. You basically just get to play a lot of games. I didn't take too much advantage of the Coliseum because you really had to pick between the two. They need to expand the Coliseum to be in a bigger area if they want to be more serious about it, because waiting in line to be in the Coliseum sucks. That's why one big reason I didn't go back to it. I'm going to wait an hour to just see another panel that lasts an hour. That's 2 hours of my day gone. I could have played a game at that point, or 2 games.
So would you go back?
Maybe with a friend or something. I'm not. Next year might be bad for me to go.
Next year we're gonna go.
Well, next year I have wedding and honeymoon to worry about.
Fuck, dude. We're gonna figure it out. We're going.
Yeah, we'll do a GoFundMe.
Exactly. We'll do a GoFundMe. Bits for You is going to E3. Go fund us. We'll do that. Yeah, for sure.
I liked the convention. It was a lot of fun. A lot of free swag. I think I missed out some of the swag I mentioned. Basically, a bunch of shirts, hats, I guess steel case.
I hope you give me a shirt when you visit Florida next month.
I did forget to mention another VR game I played. The only PlayStation thing I was able to do, because the app was weird.
Right.
I mentioned it in I think earlier that you have to register online on their app. I was able to register for this game called Super Hot. It's this if you YouTube it, it'll be better description, but basically it's first person shooter.
Right.
But a little bit more freedom. You go to punch and stuff. Mm-hmm. So, like example, this is a guy in front of me with a gun. I'll knock the gun out of his hand. That goes in slow mo like the Matrix. You grab the gun and then boom, shoot 2 of the other guys. Example. So there's a lot of things like that. You hit something or you dodge bullets. It's all in slow mo. It really feels like the Matrix. I have a feeling you will love this game.
Of course, sir. The Matrix is amazing. Come on.
Yeah, I would definitely YouTube it. Super Hot. I had a lot of fun. It was a little difficult to get used to it, but definitely VR done right. This is one of those games that would make me buy a VR game system. So, yeah. Overall, though, E3, a lot of free swag, lots of line waiting. It's just the line waiting kind of. I hope they improve on that, because you could tell that Ubisoft. I was never able to do Ubisoft. Like, I talked to a girl on one of the lines for Shadow of War, actually. She was in line 3 hours to play Assassin's Creed.
3 hours to play a freaking game?
Yeah.
Fuck that. It's way too long.
Ubisoft was the worst.
You could have done 25 minutes. You could have done so many other things in those 3 hours.
Right, and she had to be. You also have to register with them, so you get like a wristband. So you had to get in the line for that first. There was a line for that. So and I registered online for it and everything, but I didn't do it because it was like the lines were all ridiculous. Like each game, you had like 25 minutes on it. And they had the Crew 2, the Rainbow Six, Assassin's Creed, Stick of Truth from South Park, and they also have the Mario Rabbids game there too. It all looked like a lot of fun. It's just, man, you have to wait forever to play any of these things. And parking's a hassle there. So get this, the first day...
You should have Ubered, sir, or Lyft.
That's what I did. It was a lot cheaper to do Uber than to
actually park. I bet.
I had a rental car and everything. I still needed a rental car for my trip anyway, because the next day I went to Disney and stuff. But I had to Uber because it was a lot cheaper than parking there. I just thought it was funny. Just Ubering was a better option. I was talking to some of the Uber drivers. They're saying, yeah, most people just Uber instead of parking because it's just a hassle.
Did you have fun?
And expensive.
Did you have fun at Disneyland?
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
It's
a fake Disney, but
because it's not Disney World.
Right. It's actually a lot smaller too.
Of course.
But I did that Guardians of the Galaxy ride. That was pretty cool.
Guardians of the Galaxy ride?
Yeah.
Oh, what's the ride? It's like a roller coaster?
I guess you didn't see my pictures. So, I'll just mention this real quick. So the Tower of Terror closed down over there in California. California, they have Disneyland and Disneyland California Adventure. California Adventure is on the Tower of Terror. Well, anyways, they closed it down and revamped it to Guardians of the Galaxy. So if you go, Maybe I'll post some pictures later. But you can see my personal Facebook. You'll see it there too. But so what happens is Rocket Raccoon is the one trying to free his friends. Everybody else is captured by the Collector. So you have to. He says, okay, you're gonna get in this elevator, and I'm gonna disable it. We're gonna go up to the top, and I'm gonna cause an explosion to free them out of their prison.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This happens immediately. He gets up there. You start dropping like crazy. It's Tower of Terror on steroids. You drop several times. It happens immediately too. And every time you drop, and then there you see the Guardians trying to get out of the prison and stuff, fighting monsters and stuff. And it's pretty fun. If you like Tower of Terror, this is like I said, Tower of Terror on steroids. Huh?
I used to love Tower of Terror. Interesting.
They had the other thing that was unique about it was they had cars, like whole section dedicated to cars. I actually like to ride for that.
The Cars ride? That's probably Cars is big for Disney. The third movie just came out.
Yeah, this week.
Yeah, are you gonna watch it?
Probably not.
I only saw the first Cars. Actually, I think I saw the first Cars with you.
I think so. I just thought it was okay. I didn't think. I don't know. It's a big.
Don't get the wrong idea, people. It was with people we went as like with women that we were dating at the time.
Yeah. So it was I liked it. So there's things to do besides E3, and I sticked around to do other things besides E3. E3 is fun, just the lines is the big thing. All the free swag and playing the games before they come out is pretty cool.
All right, so that's E3's your E3 experience. Next year we're gonna go, and I'm pretty sure we won't have. Hopefully, we won't have the experience of waiting in these long ass lines.
We'll see.
Yeah, we're still doing the Bits for You podcast Mario Kart 8 tournament. Is that still going on?
It should be. I haven't even stopped it.
Good. When are we gonna play?
Sometime.
I won't be. There's a possibility I won't play today. I'll probably play tomorrow when this episode comes out, which will be. Well, you'll be listening to it Monday, today, now, whenever. So it'll be fun. Bits for You. I'll just retweet the code and put it on Facebook. The ID code for the tournament for those that have a Mario Kart 8 for the Nintendo Switch. Any last words, Javier?
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. Keep being badass.
Exactly.
All right then. Until next time. All right. So that was the E3 episode of Bits for You. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and thanks again to our guests, MajicMan187, BWA Switch, and Javier for attending E3 and posting photos on Twitter and telling us about it. And as always, you can listen to us on iTunes and many other podcast apps like Stitcher, Podbean, Google Play Music, etc. If you like this podcast, share it with your friends and family. That helps us out a lot. Give us a review on iTunes. Also helps us out. Our website is bitsforyou.podbean.com. You can go there for all the episodes. We'll post links as well to our social media, Facebook, and email addresses. You can also click on the link to the Amazon portal. If you get something through Amazon, it helps us. They'll give us a piece of the pie. Thanks.